This is going to be I'm doing a little bitty mini series, if you will. I don't know if you can hear me or not. Yeah. But what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be going over some tricks, some tactics that would be fairly useful for anyone who likes to play an Operation Locker. There's a lot of servers where it says Locker only, and Battlefield 4 on the PS4 at least anyway. So we're going to take a look at some. I'm going to be going over some tricks that can be used both in team deathmatch, conquest, or otherwise. And it won't work. Well, the first set will be in team deathmatch. The second set will be conquest. So you notice I'm on a conquest specifically for that reason. So no matter what side you spawn on, everybody and their mama for some reason has a tendency to run to the opposite end of the map. Now, if you're on the opposite end of the map, if you're at this end of the map already, for example, don't run away. Stay here, because otherwise the first person that dies is going to spawn right here in this area. Probably somewhere around here, maybe down below, or somewhere in this area. It's just stupid for you to give them the opportunity to spawn behind your back. And the same thing goes up there by the Echo spawn. If you're up there, where that big gate is up there, that's just a bad situation. But this is talking about team deathmatch only. So what I'm going to do is, your killing field is right here. Now, most people would think that it's around there, or it's over here, and it certainly is at the entrances. All three entrances are killing fields. But a good place to go if you want to if one squad wants to maintain control over the map and get excellent points for the team, your best bet is to hold down this little infirmary area here, and these 3 points right here. One squad, maybe two squads, are able to do that. I've actually been, just earlier today I was with a squad and we understood exactly what to do. We didn't have any recons. What we had is we had support. We didn't have any engineers either. We had support and assault, defibs and ammo and health. And claymores are really handy too. So what I'm doing is I'm running around. I have claymores. So what's going to happen? Most people like to come up here, or they like to kind of come around this layer right here. A lot of them like to sit in these rooms here, which is not that uncommon. And they also like to make a beeline. Believe it or not, most people, when they're coming from this direction, like to come down this walkway. They don't like to come down here because it's a straight shot from being shot from right there, from right over here. They don't like it. You gotta be wary on this side too, because if you come over here and sit down right here with a PDW or a pistol, you're almost invisible, even with this wall blown out. I don't know if I can do it with a pistol. Yeah, I didn't work with a grenade. Even with a grenade, ooh shit. Yeah. There he goes. If you sit right here, you're invisible. If you have one guy as a squad leader that's giving out active directions, and if everybody who does fall down calls out that they're down and where the enemy's coming from, that's going to help out immensely. Communication is key. Pretty much everybody that plays this game should be using a mic. Frankly speaking, the fact that there are 1,005 solos running around without a mic user, without communicating with anything, costs the game. You'd be surprised at how many times a game could have been won if the person who's doing his best to be at the top just communicated with other people. It actually is kind of frustrating because there's so much more that can be accomplished. People have this expression called PTFO, and it exists for a reason. But in team deathmatch, people say, well, there's not really anything other than just killing people. Well, that's true. But here's something you don't know. If you don't know, I should say. If you revive somebody, although the person that killed them gets the credit for the kill, the team that killed them loses the point from their overall. They don't get that counted towards their overall score. So they lose that kill. It's really weird that people haven't really noticed that. Why people don't run around? Everybody's running around with M320s and stuff. They don't want to help out with the team and revive and stuff and drop health packs. There's so much more that can be done if you just use what's in the game. Now, in maps like this right here, people say, well, it's better just to run and gun, be quick and everything about it. Well, in a way that's true if you're really, really good. But if you train yourself to do this, for example, you know, that right there, although, yes, you will be slightly visible, you're not going to be as obvious and blatant as, you know, running out there in front of them. And that makes you a big target when you're seen. Snipers, not so common on this map, but people have been known to snipe on this map. They like to stand here, they like to come over here and hide, they like to sit here and they do this, they come over here and they do this. M320s are pretty handy, grenades pretty handy for that situation. Unfortunately, you'd be surprised at how little kills you're going to get even if you're holding down that route. It just doesn't work. You don't have any reason to go beyond this point. You can literally win the game simply, an entire squad can win the game simply by staying in this room. And doing, if you work together, you'd be surprised at how much can be done. Move on into a little bit more expanded version of that. This is right here. This is the Conquest map. So obviously, the more points you hold, the better off. You only need 3. You don't need to have all of them. If there's E, D, C, B, A. Now, depending on what side you're on, depends, which would be the better option. Obviously, you can always flank around simply by going outside. In which case, having a sniper or 2 outside doesn't really hurt. On Conquest, you don't have the option you don't have the worry of people just randomly spawning behind you, because they're going to spawn at their deployment or one of the places where they're currently held, or wherever it is that their team squad person is going to be at, or maybe they have a spawn beacon. But the point is, they're not going to just randomly spawn behind you like they will in Team Deathmatch. It doesn't work that way. In Team Deathmatch, where you spawn will be dependent on where the other team is. In Conquest, that's not how it works. Now this thing right here, amazing while it's on here. Now unfortunately, this thing doesn't last very long, especially in hardcore. It's much easier to just kill people, it's much easier to destroy things. Come over here, a good bit of C4 riding around it, or maybe a couple RPGs or something, and this thing comes down. You get that little drop then, the gun, the shotgun, which is, that's pretty handy. But again, you have to understand, you don't need all 5 of the bases. If you can acquire 3 bases and maintain those 3 bases, you don't have to go out and go even closer to their spawn. Operation Metro is exactly the same way. If you spawn on the side where it's on Charlie first, all you have to do is hold Charlie and Bravo. You never even have to go past the ticket booth, ever. You should never go past the ticket booth. Frankly speaking, doing so just spreads your forces out too thin. You can't maintain revives. You can't do anything like that. You don't even need anything like that. All you need is take Charlie, take Bravo. Once you're on Bravo, move up to where the ticket, the ticket things are. Maybe even go up to the counter. But you don't got to go no further than that. If you can maintain that, you will have them by the balls. But people don't think about that. Operation Metro is one of my favorite maps to play Conquest on. Simply because with a well-rounded team that knows how to work together, you can literally end the game in a matter of minutes. And yes, I know it all makes in a matter of minutes, but what I'm referring to is much faster than you would think. Not to mention, you can rack them on hella scores by getting kills, because they're going to be desperate to come at there and get Bravo. They're going to be desperate. If everybody worked together, there would be no need to be concerned. But that's not how it works. Everybody is so gung-ho, so desperate to be the top of the leaderboard that they forget that, that's not really the way it's meant to be played. This isn't Call of Duty. This is a strategy game. This game here is meant for you to have to think with. Camping is a very viable tactic. There's no reason for anyone to feel like they shouldn't be allowed to camp. Camp all you like. That will help the team out if you're being effective in your camping. If you're not effective when you're camping, then you might as well just go and let them shoot you, because you're not helping the team out. Let's see here. Yes, I am just randomly running around here. There's not really any specific purpose to it. I'm just running around. hell was that? I don't have a flashlight on me. Anyway. But you just try and work together with the people that you're in the squad with, and try to get with people who have mics. Talk to them. If you can get them to work with you, you'd be surprised at how effectively you can hold down a location. And this right here, if you're on this side, bring up people, sit up here. See where is it? They can get up. Okay, I'm too far. Okay, I'm one over. Okay, it's the next one over. Right here. This right here, because you're not supposed to be able to go, in Team Deathmatch you can't go past there. It's blocked off. But here in Conquest, this is not. You can literally sit there and pick people off, even as they spawn, be it Team Deathmatch or Conquest. Try not to get shot though. People like to come up here also. These are good places to go. If you have got these and you don't want them getting past you, they're not going to spawn behind you. Maintain this area. Don't let them come in. If you have to push up, push up. There's nothing wrong with that. Let's see. Realistically, in a 64-man server, you've got 32 people. You have a couple people on the outside sniping, maybe a revive or healer, maybe an ammo supplier. No problem. If you manage to make it up and maintain Charlie, guess what you get? Ta-da! This here. Which the rangefinder to me is absolutely useless, but whatever. I don't understand why it is that they put the rangefinder in here. It realistically, it's a waste, to be honest. I don't know why it is they bother putting rangefinders on here. If you can't use the scope, man, you probably shouldn't be using the sniper rifle to begin with. It kind of falls together. I would think, but you never know. Here's another one. If you spawn on the Alpha side, if you manage to acquire Bravo, coming in here on Charlie, there's like 5 different ways to get to Charlie from Bravo. Like seriously, you can go from below, which will actually make it easier for you to blow that thing up, which that way the people won't be getting shot by that big ass machine gun. There you go. Anyway, they kind of nerfed him a little bit, I think. It sounded like somebody was running around in here. I thought I was alone in here. It says I only got one person. And here's something else I recommend you guys do. This is going to sound really weird. Go into an empty server, maybe a test range or something, and do this without putting your finger on your aiming on your left joystick. See how that it moved slightly up and to the left? Now watch it when you aim with it. Look at that. Now imagine, which one would you rather? What would you rather use? I see all the time people doing this. And sure enough, you may get some people like that, especially if you're jumping, because that makes you higher, which means you may or may not get a headshot. But in a game with people who do this, that's not going to help you out much. There's lots of people, lots of different ways of playing. Some people have this tendency to do this really strange thing where they think that they're invincible. Here's something else that's really cool. If you close this, they cannot open it from the other side. Oh damn, I missed it. See, watch. Cannot open it from this side. No matter how much you shoot it, no matter how many explosives you use on it, it will never open from that side. Which is pretty handy. If you for whatever reason have to come down here, say in Team Deathmatch, and for whatever reason y'all decide to push down this way. That's usually a good idea, because people will camp there, and people will camp there, and there's almost guaranteed to be a fucking claymore somewhere in this area right here, which will, if you're not careful, will kill you every time you pass through it. I literally played a match, what was it, yesterday, I think, maybe the day before, where I ran through there like 4 times, and all 4 times the exact same guy got me with a claymore. He just kept dropping them in that one spot, and he got me 4 times. I got so mad that I almost rage quit. I was so pissed. And yes, that's a pretty petty reason to feel that way, but you know what? It was irritating. There's no reason though why it is that you should do that. You know, just oh, I don't have any claymores on me. You can put claymores here, which would be handy, and people won't even notice it. You can place them here or across there. The problem with claymores is that they're very, very noticeable. On the other hand, if you do that, it makes it much harder for them to notice it. It only lasts for a little while, but if you have a claymore there or up there, there's no lighting, which makes it much more difficult to be seen. Same thing goes for in here, claymores. I like to personally put some right here. Very handy to have, because if you're holding down this section here and they're coming from that direction, they're gonna bolt in here from there. They're gonna run right through it. A lot of people like to do this thing where they like to come here. This is a bad place to try and corner glitch or anything like that, because grenades are going to land at your feet. Almost guaranteed. Grenades and M320s galore. A lot of people, when they come running in this way, when they realize that they're being sniped from here, they're going to come right here. A lot of people already know that, but there's some people who don't. Now, unfortunately for those poor fellows... Oops, that looks like I went too far. Okay. There's always somebody going to be here, or maybe over there, maybe sitting over here. On the TDM, there's even more stuff here, which they can hide behind. And in fact, they can actually get on this side, and they can go up. Maybe not on this side. They can get on this side by blowing that wall out, and they can get up here and place a spawn beacon. And every single time, they will spawn here on your ass and fuck you up. That's kind of what they do. Every time that you guys come in here and play on Locker or a similar style map, you take in consideration what kind of environment you're in, what kind of gameplay you should do. Everybody says, hey, you know, running a gun is the best way to go. And to be honest with you, constantly being on the move is the best way to go, especially on open-sized maps. But in small, confined places like this, slower movements and closer, tighter corner catching, I would say that what you call the pie formation, whenever you clear out rooms, be real subtle about it. If you have the perk where, or you have it to where if you are, what do they call it, the loadout, we have it to where you're not noticed on the motion sensors if you crouch while moving. That might be an option to consider, especially if you're the type that plays normal. This is called, people call it head glitching, but it's really not head glitching. Head glitching is more of whenever you're doing something and you're just enough, it's kind of like doing that, but it's not the same. Or you can barely see your head, but they can see you, and they shoot you when they're hiding behind cover. It's a real pain in the ass, because half the time you don't even know where you're getting shot from. You can't see their gun, you can't see their head hardly, and it's just a big annoyance. Do it? Yep. Do I do it on the occasion? Well, I'm not gonna lie, I have done it on the occasion. And down here on TDM, you're gonna find right around here, you're gonna find a USAS with frag rounds. USAS has a high rate of fire. It's technically an automatic shotgun with a high rate of fire, I should say, of shotguns, if would be the most accurate way to put it. They're actually not that very fast at shooting if you consider any of the rifles. But for shotguns, they fire quite quickly. And, well, frag rounds, it's kind of hard to survive at. Even on normal mode, it's hard to survive a USAS 12 with frag rounds. But you'd have to get the jump on them, I would say, in order to survive that. But in hardcore mode, it's like, you know, that's the devil's gun right there. Nobody likes getting hit by that. Don't use it. If you do use it, pray to God that, oh shit. I was going to show the thing, but I just jumped right over it. Oh well. I died. But, yeah, if I can just... Let's try it again. Alrighty. There have been a number of videos that have shown it. It's actually possible to get up in these places here. In the bottom two levels on both sides, it's possible to get up on both of them. So on this level here, notice how neither one of them have railings right there. It's possible to get into them. And it's a pain in the butt, to be honest. For some people it's not so much, it's fairly easy. But if you'll notice that right here, there's something missing there. The vast majority of the bullets didn't go through the railing. Only one round went through the railing. That one right there. Most of the railing is practically invisible. It's really hard to get a round off through there. So if someone is standing there, you might get one round into them out of every 10. And that just gives them an overwhelming advantage as far as, you know, being able to peek over the railing and shoot you. Because they can clearly see you. You can't hardly hit them. That just doesn't really work out too well for the person on the ground. Now, obviously, they're limited in where all they can go, and there are some dangers that are inherent in being there. For example, if I know where you're at and I throw an RGO and you're in hardcore, I don't care even if you have a health pack sitting next to you, that's going to kill you if it lands at your foot. It's fairly easy to land a grenade shot. Okay, so I just shot it again for no reason. Look at that. It's kind of hard to see the... Yeah, there you go. See how spot on that shooting is? So pretty much where you shoot, that's where it's gonna go. It doesn't really have much of a spread. Can't go that far. Now you can kind of get... Now this will go through the railings. Unfortunately, it doesn't have quite as high a rate of fire as probably should go through the railings. They nerfed the rail invincibility somewhat, but it's still 100%. Still a pain in the butt to deal with. It looks like an octopus or something. Kind of creepy. You can just kind of keep on going here until it runs out, and then it's got to be reloaded or whatever. Leave it to the Russians to have something that feeds in from them right. Anyway. Or is it Chinese? That's right. Chinese because they're always beggars and shit. That controller just died. There we go. I'm back. My controller's out. Yeah, I'm immature like that. That's just how it is, I suppose. Anyway, in the end, it's much simpler than most people take it for. Everybody is always wanting to just, they want to run, they want to go, they gotta go, gotta go, gotta go. Set your priorities, guys. You don't need all 5 of the things. Once you have 3 of the objectives, you don't need a 4th and 5th objective. Maintain your 3 objectives, preferably the ones that are closest to you. If you can do this, be it Shanghai, be it any of them, if you can maintain 3 objectives, you win the game. Or if there's only 3 objectives, then if you maintain 2 objectives, you win the game. You don't have to have all of the objectives. You don't have. Everybody wants to be that MVP fella. They want to go and do all this stuff. There's absolutely no reason to do so. It looks like I got some no watchers. But there really isn't any reason to. If you can maintain just 3, then that is all you need. In this particular map, it's actually very simple to do so on this map. Unfortunately, people they take it for granted. They don't utilize what they have, and half the time they end up losing the game when they could have easily maintained it and won the game. That's all for this time. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to be doing some more maps, and hopefully, with any luck, I'll be doing this for all of the maps. And if you have any questions on it, or if there's something I didn't cover in particular that you wanted to see, then let me know, and I'll be happy to answer your questions. Thank you. I'll see y'all later.